What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of Sideline Thoughts. I'm Joe Galvez. I'm here with John Greenstein, David Reyes. We got basketball. We got the NBA's back. We did been for about a week now, I think. So we got the NBA back. We got still NFL games. We're halfway through. We're getting to week 9 right now. So, we still got a whole half of football left. So let's get right into it, guys. NBA.
Oh boy,
First thing we saw last
I
night.
know you wanted to talk
Y'all
about this,
know
Gio.
how y'all know how I didn't want this trade to happen, but it was bound to happen the way things were looking like. James Harden was traded to the Los Angeles Clippers.
No bueno.
It's so disappointing. It really is. The full trade package is James Harden, PJ Tucker to the Clippers for James
Nick
Harden.
Batum.
Yeah, James Harden, PJ Tucker to the Clippers for Nick Batum, Marquise Morris, KJ Martin, Robert Covington, and two picks from the Clippers. Interesting enough, this morning it was announced that OKC is also part of this trade package, in which OKC will be swapping picks with the Clippers, 2027 round picks with the Clippers, and will be sending a 2026 protected pick to the 76ers. So, I don't know how or why OKC got into this at the end of it. I guess that's why it was taking Woj a while to text it last night. I mean, it was 2 a.m. in the East Coast when he tweeted the trade. But look, I'm glad Clippers didn't really give up much when it comes to player wise for James Harden and PJ Tucker. I don't think we would need PJ Tucker. I didn't want James Harden. I never liked James Harden ever since he was in the Rockets. He's just a free throw
He's a
merchant.
ball hog.
He is. He's a free. Look, if you take away the free throws, he has 9-10 points a game. Like they're betting on him being the same player he was. Like,
He turns it over a lot too. He turns the ball. Him and Russell Westbrook combined, they turn over the ball so many times, bro. It's gonna be kind of annoying for the Ty Lue's gonna have the biggest headache now. He made the worst. He didn't make it. Frank Lawrence, the front office guy,
the GM.
Yeah, he screwed up here. He shouldn't have made this trade. It was a bad idea on him.
It was a bad idea. So look, like, to me on paper, all you see as a Clipper fan, we're seeing they're not trading a lot of great players. Like, they didn't trade Terrence Mann.
They're defensive players, though.
Yes, that's the issue. I wish they would have kept Robert Covington. I liked how Robert Covington played. Think he should have, been part of our four and off the bench. I like that Morris is gone. Sucks that Nick Batum is gone because he did want to retire. He decided to come back one last season, and now he's getting traded. Like, that sucks. KJ Martin wasn't really getting playing time, so that's fine. But dude, like I'm saying, like, if it's not for free throws, James Harden's only 10 points. Like, they're hoping he's the same James Harden he was 7 years ago in the Rockets. That's the same hope that the Nets had. That's the same hope that the 76ers have. He's not that. And that's why I don't like this trade. I don't like it at all. Like, I just don't like it. I'm not gonna be happy. The Clippers already play small ball. Already in the lineup, they play small ball. They wanted Terrence Mann to be the starting shooting guard or point guard, depending. They saying that how they wanted that. Move Russell to shooting guard or keep him at point. So the lineup before this trade was already Russ, Terrence Mann, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Zubac.
Yeah.
Now you're switching Terrence Mann for James Harden, but still small ball, and I don't like small ball, and I hate that this is how we're gonna be playing.
They really don't have any backup bigs, to be honest. Like, there's not. It's just a bunch of power forwards.
Mason
Who?
Plumlee.
Plumlee? I mean, he doesn't shoot. He's just a statue there. Just like, nope. Let me dunk. Let me just build out the back.
That, and he's just he's one of those hard-working players. He'll just get the rebound, get the fight for the ball type of player.
He's the tallest guy out there.
Exactly. But Clippers, I've been saying this for years. Clippers need a dominant center. A dominant rim protector.
Karl Anthony Towns.
But Cat likes to shoot outside the arc. now.
Or I mean AD even, but AD's like same way.
Yeah,
But like
he's on. Yeah.
they both have their issues.
Mhm.
What do you think,
What
David?
one thing I'm curious is, did they even ask Jerry West about this? Then what's the point in having him as an advisor or whatever his position is? Because I'm pretty sure this is something that he will not approve of.
I think it's Ballmer. He wanted just star power, just because like he's like, I need a name. I need to fill my seats. I need L.A. Clippers to be the biggest show in town. I need
You
them.
have the new stadium coming up next
Yeah.
season. You have this look, it's unsure whether Kawhi and Paul George are gonna sign an extension to come back. After next season, right? Because they still have 1 more year in the contract, I believe, or this is the last year. One of those two. Still unsure. So now the only thing you have for sure is you have Russ because this is his first of 2 year contract. So you have him for next season, and now you're gonna have James Harden.
Well, just for this year, because he's a free
Yeah,
agent next year.
yeah, but he's coming back home. Look, I'm not saying he's gonna resign. I'm just saying there's a chance he does resign.
Well, if the Clippers even want him back, let's see how he even plays, man. Like, cause he can be a headache.
Look, if they're trading for him, I'm assuming they would want him back. If they
But
don't,
hey, things change. You saw with Russ and the Lakers when they traded for him. You saw how that worked
you're
out. It
right.
could be a
But
similar situation.
you're right, and I don't mind if it
Probably
is.
worse.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah,
Probably
it
worse
could be
because
worse.
Because
I
Russ
don't,
and Harden didn't work out in Houston. It could be the same issue here, even though they got Kawhi and PG to help along. But
dude. I don't mind if they get rid of James Harden. I don't. I'm just hoping they sign and trade him so Clippers get something in return.
who's going to take him after leaving 6 teams?
There's other teams that would probably take him.
Maybe the
I mean,
Knicks.
I don't know. Like, I'm gonna say a bunch of teams off the top of my head.
I'd say maybe Knicks, but I can't think of anyone else.
Nah, I don't think Knicks would want him.
The Knicks
Not
are
anymore.
desperate for star power. They try to do that with Dame Lillard.
Yeah, but Knicks try to do that with everyone. James
That's what I'm
Harden,
saying.
I don't think they would, but who knows? I'm not gonna say a team off the top of my head right now. Um, but yeah, it's like I don't mind it. I would just like something in return. Because look, the Clippers have no future right now. They've traded all
Nope.
the next 10 years picks to OKC, right? And whatever they had left, it was within little trades they had here and there, especially for Russ. And now we're trading 2 more picks to 76ers.
Yeah, they have all of their picks. Like half because they got Tobias Harris's deal. Remember, they had the picks from that.
Mhm.
Then they got the Paul George deal for the Thunder are loading up on picks as well.
Sam Presti just, dude, he looks for picks.
Yeah,
Like it has nothing to do with OKC, and he comes in like, "Hey man, y'all trying to trade some picks? Like y'all trying to sprinkle a little something else in here?" Like it's unbelievable what Sam Presti has done.
he's a good
Yeah,
GM.
props to him to getting it. But now it's how is this all going to work together? Because the goal is always a championship. Is he building a championship team? Right? Because right now we're saying it looks like he's trying to because he's getting all these picks for the future. But at what point is it okay? This is it. This has to be the championship team. No more trading for picks. We could trade these picks for players. Now, obviously, they're just building around now. They look like they have their squad pretty much set. Now it's getting that chemistry and playing, getting the experience all together to be a championship winning team. I would think maybe within the next 5 years, they should. I'm not saying they will be, but they should be ready for a chip.
Yeah, of course.
Well, they were ready for a chip 10 years ago with Chris Paul and Blake Griffin, but we saw what happened there.
No, I was talking about OKC, David.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, with Kevin Durant and James Harden and Serge
Yeah.
Ibaka, all those other guys.
And Russ, yeah.
Yeah, Russ.
Oh, those days are
Westbrook.
gone. Those days are gone. That's when I used to like them.
That's when Kobe was playing still.
Yeah.
But they lost to Miami. In the
Do you have any other thoughts on that, David, on the James Harden thing before we move on?
Well, it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a good reality show. But the production team should pitch that. Is backstage Clippers. Sure, by the end of the season, they'll be very
But yeah,
a lot of fights, maybe arguments. We never
strip
needed
clubs.
you. We
Lots of
never
strip
won.
clubs.
I didn't get
Oh,
enough points tonight. You're stat stuffing. Kawhi didn't pass me the ball. Russ got it. There's gonna be like a bunch of like headaches just going on between Russ and James Harden. They're just gonna have ego issues. Just gonna have to keep them in
Yeah,
check. Like Paul George and Kawhi are gonna have to be the team captains.
yeah. Um, right now, into just a couple other teams in the NBA. One that I think stood out to me, and a lot due to their dynamic and how even in the offseason how they were built was the Phoenix Suns. I don't like the Suns. Just make it like clear right now. I don't. They're not a team that I genuinely like. Um, but when they're playing the Warriors, if they were to win, whether they won that game, but if even if they were to lose, to me, with just KD and Booker and the pieces they got around them, I think they've done a really great job, like fixing their team up to where okay now they're not so bad as people thought. Like they did not look bad at all that first game. Now, yes, after that Booker didn't play. They lost to the Lakers with just KD as the star. I completely get it. Okay. Sorry, now the Suns are built to be a team where yes, you need your stars to play as a starting. Um, but I think they got really nice pieces off the bench that is showing that look, these players could play. Whether it's hustling, whether it's getting rebounds, whatever it's getting whatever necessary points they need, at least to give the bench. I mean, sorry, the starters some break. I think they've done a nice job finding this team. Now it's how is this chemistry going to work and how is it going to be able to prolong and play into the playoffs? Because we saw last season against the Clippers, against the Nuggets, all the starters, Aiton, Kevin Durant, um, Chris Paul, well, not Chris Paul, but Devin Booker, they all had to play 35 plus points, almost, I mean, minutes, sorry, play 35 plus minutes, maybe even 40 minutes just to be in the game. Whether they won or lost, just to be in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they've done a nice job finding a bench that could let them play less. Now it's seeing if the team has team chemistry. Because I think Nurkic played beautiful the first game. I think he played really well. Um, he wasn't being used correctly in Portland, in my opinion, and I think he's being used greatly in Phoenix. So now we're seeing that okay, that's a center, a real center, other than aside from Aiden, that's a real center that they needed. They're getting a bench. Watanbe, I believe I pronounced that wrong.
Watanabe?
Yeah, Watanabe. Sorry, he's
it's a
playing
player to
really well
look
there.
out for in the
I think he's
Spurs.
playing really well on the
Mhm.
team.
Yeah, he is good.
It just now how is this team gonna roll with all three starters on the court?
I think they'll be good. I think they're going to be as good as the Nuggets. I think the Suns are going to be great this year. The Lakers are definitely going to have trouble keeping up with those two teams. I think personally, just because the Lakers are a lot older, and you saw, I mean, they lost to the Kings yesterday in overtime, or not yesterday, 2 days ago. I'm sorry, on
Yeah.
Sunday, but they're going to not match up well against these fast-paced teams in the West, the Lakers, and the Suns are just going to be at the top tier. Suns and Nuggets. It's just going to be those two teams, and then maybe the Clippers and Lakers, and all the other
Not the
teams like
Clippers.
Maverick.
Not the
I think
Clippers.
the Clippers will be a top 5 team in the West. Still, they won't win.
I don't know about top five, honestly.
Being
You
too
think top
generous.
8?
Top eight, yes. Like sure, they'll make playoffs.
I think they're still better than Memphis, the Clippers, and the Kings.
I'm not sure. I mean, right now it's too early to say who we think will
Off
make
of
playoffs
paper,
and
I'm
stuff.
saying. I'm not
Yeah.
saying off of like how many games, because it's only been like 3 or 4 games they played this whole year. It's too early to
Mhm.
say.
Yeah.
But yeah,
No,
we'll see in 20 games. We'll see how the layout looks.
We'll see on Wednesday, November 1st. That's when the Lakers play the Clippers. So
I think the Clippers are going to win that.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Lakers, I don't know, man. They didn't. I mean, sure, they look good with AD and LeBron, but like they don't have much help.
Well, I think one of the helps that's been very disappointing is Gabe Vincent.
Yeah,
He's
he
not
hasn't done
playing
anything.
the way he's played in Miami. So yes, that's disappointing. But I think other players who have already been on the team, like Hashimura, is playing
Austin
well.
Reeves.
Austin Reeves is playing all right. I think
Yeah.
Christian Wood, in addition to this team, has been playing very well. Not scoring wise, but when it just comes to rebounding and getting the ball and trying to push it forward, I think he's played very well in
Yeah.
that aspect. So,
We'll
there's other
see.
teams going on. Nuggets, NBA champions. They're showing why they're still the NBA champion. Don't be surprised if they end up winning back-to-back years.
Yeah, they're that good. They
Mhm.
literally have the same team. Pretty much. I think it's the exact same team, pretty much.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't think they lost anyone this year.
Yeah, they're looking to keep adding,
Hmm.
make a dynasty.
I think the
What?
Kings are a team to watch that after their performance last season and making it into the playoffs. I think we should not be surprised to see them back in the playoffs.
I
think
still think they're better
Pelicans,
than the Warriors, bro. The Kings are.
the Kings.
Yeah, I think the Golden State Warriors are just getting older. Like, I think they're like a top 6 team, the Warriors, but the Kings are right above them. That's where I have them right now for like on paper and how I think things will work out.
I mean, that's your. I agree with you that Warriors are a top 6 team, and I agree with your point. They're not the same Warriors teams that we know them to
Definitely
be.
not.
But are the Kings better? I'm not gonna say yes
Not
or no to that
better
right now.
talent like all around, but like they're a more cohesive team. They work better as a team. Like they don't have any problems. Like they don't have no
I
Draymond
agree with you on that
Greens,
one.
no Chris Pauls, like to have to deal with. They're all just a cohesive unit.
I think the difference of that, like you said, it cohesive from the starters to the bench, while the Warriors, the bench isn't as cohesive with the
No,
starters. But they're making that, like, I think Moody is part of that transition between the two.
but he doesn't show up when it matters the most. That's the
Moody,
problem.
Moody kind of has
He had a
recently.
bad series against the Kings last year.
Okay, but this I'm talking about this season.
I know, but I'm just saying I need to see more.
Yes. So there's a lot. Mavericks. I'm not too sure about Mavericks, honestly. Right
The
now they're
Mavericks
three
just have
zero, but
Doncic and Kyrie.
Kyrie.
But Kyrie, is he going to play? That's the question.
I mean, he is. So
Going to go to some birthday party that he's going to take 2 weeks off for?
I think he's gonna play. Now I think highly anticipated is Thunder and Pelicans and maybe Timberwolves and Jazz. Those are the four of I think they're gonna be fighting for the last 2 spots.
There's only like 1 to like 3 bad teams in the NBA in the West. I think it's freaking Blazers and then who else is it? Spurs and Rockets. I think that's all I could think of right now. Are like bad in the West, like super bad. Like everyone else is pretty good.
I'm
Like
sure the Spurs will do a lot better than last season.
dude, they got clapped by the Clippers. What was it by 30 something points?
By 40 points.
Damn.
I'm sure they'll get there. They'll get there.
They might get better as the season goes on, but like I don't see them doing anything.
Oh no, like that no. But I'm sure they'll get better. It's a process.
I just think every other team
with
has a
Victor
chance.
Wembanyama, it takes time.
Yeah, he'll be good. He'll be a star in the league eventually. Just it might take a minute to adjust. Like Kobe didn't do great his first year in the NBA. He had his struggles, but he pushed it along the following year and became a superstar.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he has Shaq.
Yeah, I mean he had Shaq to help, but not his first year though.
Yeah,
Shaq wasn't there. He was on the Magic.
Any last comments on the NBA?
I think we covered it, man.
Well, actually, one thing I'm actually very happy.
More?
Yeah, I'm very happy that the NBA is back because we get to see the greatest sports show ever inside the NBA on TNT.
Oh yeah, Shaq and Chuck,
Ernie Johnson, and Ken the Jet Smith.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's definitely entertaining. You're gonna see.
But it's kind of sad to see them. They're all getting old. I mean, the episode last week on last Thursday, they're going over like a clip of an old episode. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, Chuck's old now.
Yeah.
They all are.
Well, I think he's the only one that actually still looks about the same when he started.
Shaq's not the oldest though. He's the youngest out of all of them.
Yeah, but he has his beard and you can see the gray hair already.
He's actually stressed out. He's stressed all the time.
Shaq's getting so old, you see gray hairs on top of his head. But
Yeah, that's all I
but
want
yeah,
to say.
you're right, David. That is the best show in basketball. All the sports, they're in there too. So
The most entertaining one too. Yeah, like
mhm,
I watch it on YouTube sometimes on my free time.
Mm.
It never gets old.
it never does. But moving on to the NFL, we had a couple interesting games this week.
The
I would
Chargers
say.
finally won. The Chargers finally
Yeah,
Finally,
won.
this is like
they
their
got
what third win?
yeah. The
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bears.
it's not finally,
yeah,
but
against
to
the
the
Bears though.
Bears.
The
You
Bears.
guys were supposed to win that. Like I would have been mad if you guys lost. I
But
really
they
would have.
didn't. You know what? I'm disappointed they didn't score a touchdown in the second half.
That's what they do. They just get off hot, then
I
they
know.
just go ice cold second half. That's
Yeah,
what it was in the playoffs last year.
yeah.
It is very disappointing. But and now you guys have a new offensive coordinator. So what's the issue now? Is it still
I think it's the
Staley?
coach. It's the head coach, like we were
Staley's
always
still
saying.
like,
Staley.
nah, we don't score in the second half, all right, buddy? You do all that in the first. Um
I don't know, man.
well, starting off, I
Yeah, that's
think
it. I don't want to talk about the Chargers anymore.
I don't blame you.
starting off, actually, real, yeah, I'll start off with this one. Vikings Packers. My Packers lost. I'm not surprised. Disappointing, yes, but I did expect them to lose. Um, it's been a very disappointing season, especially with Jordan Love. It's almost like he can't read defenses sometimes, and a lot of times he overthrows or underthrows the ball. So it's been a very hard, difficult season. But they
I
play the
think it's gonna get
Vikings.
worse too with the cold season coming
Hmm.
up. He's just gonna get like
Hmm.
7 points a game, 10 points. He's already doing 10 points a
He's
game
already
barely.
doing 10 points a game. Yeah,
It's gonna get worse.
yeah. The Packers started off so high, just to fall so
They might
low.
not win their game. They might beat the Bears once. That's might
I
be it.
I honestly think Packers only beating the Bears. That's the next one, and that's it.
That's what I'm saying. Like they
That
might beat
that
the Bears. That's
yeah,
it.
that's the only other thing. And I said it last season in our podcast that Packers are going to do bad. David, you remember me saying this? You remember me saying this? I said, in our thing, the only team we're going to sweep is the Bears. They're the only teams we're going to sweep.
And it might happen.
Yeah, I believed I said they were going to go 1-1 with the Lions. I am wrong. I could say it right
Dead
now. I
wrong.
am wrong. They're not getting a win against the Lions at all. Um, and I thought we were going to get swept by the Vikings. That is a possibility, but not because the Vikings are doing so good. It's because the Packers are doing so bad. That's the difference. That's the difference of it.
But this is what you expected, no? You didn't expect them
Yeah,
to do.
yeah. I didn't expect them to do good at all, David. I told you. I expected to be a playoff teams in 3-4 years from now. I
It might be
expect them to.
longer now because they might need to get a new quarterback to draft.
That's what it's kind of looking like. It's really
Yeah.
tough. It's kind of looking like that, but hey, let's analyze at the end of the season because right now we're saying
Yeah.
all this. Who
It's
knows
just
what
the
the
halfway
turnout's gonna
point
be?
right
Yeah,
now.
it's the halfway point. They could scrap up. Who imagine they scrap up like 5 more wins? Like what?
Salvage a
Like
season.
yeah, salvage. I mean, they wouldn't make playoffs, but
No,
they're close to
definitely.
it.
It'd be respectable at least. It's just 7 wins isn't terrible. Like 7-10. I wouldn't be too upset as a fan base if I were you. But yeah, I mean, hopefully they can do better.
Yeah, so it's tough on the Packers, but as I think as Packer fans, you should yes, still support them. I'm not supporting them, but you got to be realistic that look, our playoff season is done. We're not making playoffs. Everything else, it is what it is. They just try to scrape up more wins so we don't look as bad because that loss to the Broncos was terrible. On the Viking side, on the Viking side, good win for them coming back after beating the 49ers. They're on the high they were on the high road and they come back to be a much easier team beating my Packers. Now it was going well. It was going well until Kirk Cousins gets hurt. Sorry, Kirk Cousins does get hurt. I think it was in the third or fourth quarter. Um, he gets hurt sprained his ankle. Turns out the results came back that he tore his ACL, so he's done for the season and everything. So now we're seeing what are the Vikings looking to do next in looking for the quarterback. And Coach McConnell had some words to say after the season. After the game, speaking on that.
Yeah, we're still working through that, Kevin. I did want to see Jaron in the game and function. A lot of the feedback that I got from the guys in the huddle was he was outstanding calling plays, cadence, snap counts, center quarterback exchange. Those are all things that go through your mind. And really knowing kind of our staff did a really nice job of kind of keeping me updated probably long before anybody else on our sideline really knew what was going on. So I was, really using some of those opportunities to show Jaron my confidence in him, but also give him some opportunities to play quarterback and convert a big third down there, get out of the pocket a couple times on some keepers and really just kind of start, giving him an opportunity when really all he's done is scout team reps up until this point throughout the season. And he's done a fantastic job getting our defense ready every single week for a lot of different offenses.
Yeah, so now it's who they're gonna take. I mean, those were that they're gonna look to get trade for Jameis Winston by today. Today's the deadline, the trade deadline for the NFL. So I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think Jaron Hall's going to have a long season ahead of him because I think the Vikings will win 3 more games. They'll beat the Packers one more time. They will beat the Bears. And I don't know the rest of your schedule, but I just figure they're going to win 3 more games just because I think that's possible for them to win 7 games. But I don't see them doing anything, because obviously Justin Jefferson's not there to help this young rookie QB get through the season. Like I said, Jaron Hall is going to struggle. There's no doubt about that. At least they already played the 49ers. He didn't have to deal with them. So that's a plus, I guess, for him. But
yeah, I mean, Justin Jefferson's been out already for 3 games, I believe. So he's for sure out one more game, the next game, and then he's slowly going to make the process to start coming back. But looking at the teams that the Vikings play next, it's the Falcons, the Saints, the Broncos, the Bears, the Raiders, the Bengals, the Lions, the Packers, and then the Lions.
You know what? They could win 4 or 5, actually.
I think they have a chance to beat the Saints. They have the chance to beat the Broncos. I believe I give the estimated that this is when Justin Jefferson starts coming back. He's gonna miss against the Falcons.
That's
Saints,
doable.
he might want to come back. And Broncos, I think they can beat the Broncos. I think they beat the Bears. They already got 1 win against them, so I think they could get a second one. And I think they could beat the Raiders. Bengals, they're gonna lose to. Lions, they're gonna lose to. Packers, they'll beat. Unless Packers somehow muster up the win to win this one. And then Lions, they're gonna lose. I think Lions are winning the division. They're pretty much sweeping the division, in my opinion. But I think it's possible with him.
Yeah, I think they're going to sweep. David? Gio?
Yeah, so David, what do you think, David?
I mean, I really don't have much to say about this topic. I'm not that familiar with the Vikings. And I'm going to stay. I'm going to say nothing.
Another game I want to point out was the Eagles Commanders divisional game in the Commanders' home. I really like their uniforms. The all red to me looks nice, but it was a really crazy game. It was 38-31. Eagles come with the win, but just a pushback by the Commanders. I think they played very well. Sam Howell had 4 touchdowns. Jahan Dotson had 1 touchdown, had 108 yards. So he had a great game. AJ Brown, phenomenal game. This dude's playing amazing. He had 2 touchdowns, 130 yards. Jalen Hurts played really well, 4 touchdowns. So, but the game out, Commanders weren't backing down. They had the lead in the beginning. By halftime, it was 17-10. Commanders were up. What helped out was Philly getting a touchdown in the third quarter and Commanders not getting any, tying the game. And it came down to the fourth quarter, back and forth. Washington were able to get 2 more touchdowns, but Philly came up with 3 touchdowns at the end of it. Big win. I'm not saying that the Eagles are frauds. I don't think the Eagles are frauds. I don't think they're a bad team at all. I think they're still like one of the best teams in the NFC. But
They're not
it
going to win
kind
the
of,
Super Bowl. They're not.
I'm not saying that. I think they had a much better team last season, even though it's the same team. But I'm just saying they played much better last season. This season, I think we see one, it's a division rival game, so we know the importance of it. I just think that they're struggling a little bit against teams that they should have beaten fairly well. That's my only thing about it. You know. Moving on real quick. Brown Seahawks and John, that Seahawks are John's team. They got the win by 4 points, but it was a turnover game. 2 from the Seahawks, 2 from the Browns of just interceptions. 4 total. It was just a back and forth game on that one. But Bengals 49ers. That's again 49ers once again are back on the conversation block of losing the 3rd straight game. They lost the 3rd straight game. This one to Bengals who found themselves, who found their motivation, found how they play again. They're going back to themselves. So now the question is, actually, it's not even a question. The 49ers have lost the 3 straight games after beating the Cowboys, right? They lost 3 straight games. During this time, Trent Williams, the starter line, was out, and Deebo Samuels has been out during these 3 losses. These are 2 very important players, don't get me wrong. But you could say Trent Williams being gone is what's affecting Purdy a bit. You could argue it. You could add it to it. I'm not saying it is, but you add it to it. But Deebo being gone has nothing to do with Brock Purdy playing the way he's been playing. Me, I'm not a Brock Purdy fan. Never really was. I saw a game or 2 of him at Iowa State. It didn't stand out. He didn't stand out for me. And David, can you believe that in the beginning of this season, because of what he did last season and because of how he started the season, he was in the MVP conversations by many people. He was in the MVP conversation. I didn't think he should have been. I never saw him being like that. Never saw him beating that type of player. And he was in this conversation mainly a lot of that he plays in a quarterback system. He plays in a team that's supposed to work around whatever type of quarterback you have. Meaning, if you have a bad quarterback, the system's supposed to be good enough to still get your team to the playoffs. Not saying 49ers won't make the playoffs, because they still will. But now we're seeing that Brock Purdy is doing bad even in the system.
What do you think? What do you think this bye week is going to help them, benefit them, or?
Look, I think the bye week is going to benefit the team overall. I really do. I think they needed this bye week, especially right now after 3 losses. They need to get their mind straight. They need to figure out what's working, what's not working, how they're going to continue going on. Expect Deebo Samuel and Trent Williams to be back, so their team is coming back. But now the Niners had to look at the quarterback situation being. Obviously, they're going to say they're in full confidence about Purdy. They're going to say that. But you had to look is this the quarterback to win us the Super Bowl? Because that's the goal, win the Super Bowl. Jimmy G wasn't, and he was able to take them, but he couldn't get the win. Trey Lance, clearly to them, he wasn't. He got traded. So now you have all your baskets on Brock Purdy. You have Sam Darnold on the bench, but you're not letting him play at all. Because if you really were, you would have started him against the Bengals instead of having to rush Brock Purdy's concussion protocol in order for him to play this weekend. So it's starting to be noticeable right there. And what's interesting is that in the last 3 games, David, Brock Purdy has at least 1 interception, a minimum 1 interception. And the last 2 games against the Vikings and Cincinnati, he has 2 in which the second interception came on a drive in which they really needed to score to save themselves time for the possibility of getting a second score to win or tie the game. right? So clearly he's not clutch, right? He's not at all. But now we're seeing, and why I bring this up is because I like that a lot of people are now saying that he's not an MVP. He shouldn't have been in the conversation in the first place. Everyone says, "Oh, but he has the best QB. He has the best this. He has the best." Again, it's because it's the team he's on. They're made to make these quarterbacks look good. So that was my point about the 49ers. The loss, don't get me wrong, Cincinnati played really good.
Oh
They
yeah,
played
they
really
did.
good.
Yeah,
Defensively,
they did.
offensively, overall, they played really good. But I think the picture that the Niners have to look like, yeah, yes, if it was a normal loss where like Purdy had no interceptions, they played great, it just Cincinnati just beat them because whatever the situation was, that's fine. But now after 3 losses and one was to the Vikings, and it should not be like this.
I probably see them losing to the Jaguars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have an interview of Kyle Shanahan talking about what they're trying to do to prep for next week.
Well, I mean, I'll talk to him more tomorrow. But my message was we got to take that. I mean, we didn't play well. That team beat us straight up. We talked about tackling better, talked about having less penalties. I think we only had 5, but in comparison to them, I think it was 1. And we had some ones in some crucial situations that gave first downs. My bottom line to them was, we got to get better in every aspect, and the things that disappointed me today were some of the fundamentals of just throwing and catching, tackling, and some of those penalties that cost us.
All right, there was that clip. I think Coach Shanahan ran it down pretty well. He knows that the Jags are going to be a tough out if they got to play next week. They really got to be on their A game and hope for the best, honestly, because they're not looking good without Deebo Samuel right now. I know they got CMC, and all these other targets, but they just haven't looked good, and their defense has been playing trash.
It's the next 2 weeks because they have a bye week this week.
Well, yeah, I know. That's what I meant. Like, there was
The
a bye
next game.
coming up. That's what he was saying. He's trying to prep for the bye to get the Jaguars the following week ready for that week.
But John, like I was saying, like Brock Purdy is the issue they need to look like. There's no way that Deebo being gone stops you from still making passes to Christian McCaffrey, um, George Kittle, or Brandon Ayuk. Now we've seen Ayuk make these crazy long play catches. We've seen that, yes. But you're telling me that that Deebo Samuel's being gone is the reason why Brock Purdy's throwing these interceptions?
Well, it's also they're facing better teams too. Like, honestly, the Browns aren't bad defensively. Like, they have a great defense. I know, dude, they are a good defense, and the Bengals are a good defense too. But the Bengals have a good offense. That's the difference between all the other teams have been playing.
But the Vikings
have a good offense. Just the defense. I don't know. I mean, the Niners had a bad game.
But that's the point, is that you're seeing in all these, and that was my point, that Purdy is throwing these interceptions when he didn't throw these against the Cowboys, who have,
he didn't.
One of the better defenses in the league. He didn't do this against the Rams, the Rams at that time had a solid defense.
It's just a rough stretch for him, I guess. I mean, it's not much more to say about it. I mean, he's still not a terrible quarterback.
I don't think he's the quarterback that people think he is.
It's probably gonna be another Jimmy. It's probably gonna be another Jimmy G, and later get traded.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But, they have to figure out something, and obviously he's going to be there a while. Brock Purdy, he's not going anywhere, even though he lost 3 games in a row. Unless he somehow loses every game the rest of the year, then they'll be questioning their decision.
Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
But yeah, any game you guys want to bring up?
No, I think we covered what I wanted to talk about for football.
Yeah.
Chiefs Broncos. Chiefs getting their
that's right,
their first loss to the Broncos in years. And Maha said the defense played great for them. Patrick Mahomes wasn't himself, his normal self, like we know how he is. He was fumbling the ball,
The
losing it,
Taylor Swift
interceptions.
curse.
And they were
Yeah, she
dropping
wasn't there.
passes too. Sky
They
Moore
were
dropped a
dropping passes.
touchdown pass
Mhm.
from Mahomes, which would have made
Yep.
the game a bit closer. So
Yep.
we could have changed the balance of the scales there in that game.
Hmm. Yeah, it was a lot of things. Overall, as a team, the Chiefs didn't play good. The defense tried to keep them in there. The defense really did. They did their job, but offensively, the team did not play great at all.
Actually, another game we could probably just quickly mention: the Cowboys beating the Rams.
I didn't expect it to be that bad.
Yeah.
I thought the Rams would have, defensively would have done a bit. I mean, actually, no, even offensively, because the Cowboys had touchdowns on the defense side. So I think Rams overall would have been much better.
Oh yeah, I expect them to do better too, but
Do so much, and they just made the Cowboys look so good.
The Rams
Even
just
though the Cowboys side.
they're not good. I knew they weren't. They just had a good start. Like they started off well, but this is what I expected. They're gonna win like 6 games this year, and that's pretty much it. Like it was a fluke they beat Seattle week 1. Seattle wasn't prepared, obviously, so that's what happened in that front. So, but yeah.
Before I give my predictions for this week, anything else you guys want to say?
I think we're good. I mean, just cover the most important games you think for next week, and we can end it there.
All right. Well, I'm gonna just give my prediction who I think is gonna win the next games. Starting at 5:15 on Thursday. Titans at Steelers. I have Steelers. I do. But as I'm reading this and I'm thinking about the week that just passed against the Jags, not too confident on it. I'm really not. I think the Titans, just as boring as the Titans have been, there's a chance they could win it. I'm not sure. I'm really not. But I'm sticking to the Steelers pick on this one. Sunday, 6:30 a.m. because they are playing in Germany. Dolphins. It says Dolphins at Chiefs, but the game is in Germany. I have Chiefs on this one. If they find a way to get back together, beat the team that they know they are, they should be good. 10 a.m. The first 10 a.m. game. Viking at Falcons. I have Falcons, all because of Kirk Cousins being out. Like we said, they're getting a new quarterback. Who knows how he's gonna match. This is the first game. It's against a not so bad defense. They're not great defense, but they're not a terrible defense. We saw how the Falcons, their defense wasn't as great. Like I said,
they're trash.
Yeah. But it's again, like I said, the whole quarterback is what's gonna change it. If he can make the simple passes to Jordan Addison, to T.J. Hawkinson, or Osborne, but I believe Osborne got hurt, or running the ball with Madison. As long as he does his job, there's a chance Vikings can win it. But right now, I'm going Falcons. Other 10 a.m. games: Arizona at Browns. At Browns, like we said, defense is better. Arizona, so there's that. Rams at Packers, 10 a.m. I have the Rams. Yes, my Packers are not winning this at all. Aside from the fact they still have a number of injuries on the defensive side, and not much on the offensive side, but defensive side, and how trash the offense has been playing, Rams are winning this one. Washington Commanders at New England Patriots. I have Commanders.
I got the Patriots.
All right, so that's our switch. That's the switch, the opposite pick. 3 more 10 a.m. games. Chicago Bears at Saints. I have the Saints. The Bears look decent, not even decent. Just they look subpar with their backup quarterback. I think the Saints overall are better. They're slowly finding their way, especially with Kamara back. They're using him really well. So we got the Saints on that one. Seahawks at Ravens. John, your team. I have the Ravens.
Honestly, I think the Ravens will win too, just because Seattle's due for a loss.
Mm-hmm. I think so too. Seattle's really due. I think the Ravens are just right now playing a bit better. That's all it is. The last 10 a.m. game: Buccaneers at Texans. Buccaneers, just a better team. They're just a better team. And the Texans, They're still a young team. They're not bad. They're honestly doing a lot better than I thought, but they just lost to the Panthers. They gave the Panthers their first win of the season. Let's see how they bounce back from that. 1 p.m. games. Colts at Panthers. I have the Colts. Again, Panthers, although they got the first one, they're still not the best team. Colts are a bit better, but now Minshew's their quarterback, so see how they do. New York Giants at Raiders. Raiders are playing terrible. Their wide receivers had 1 or 2 catches last night against the Lions.
I got the Raiders.
You have the Raiders.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, let's see if Tyrod Taylor comes back
They
for
don't
the
have
Giants.
anything. They don't.
They could run it with Saquon.
Yeah, he's gonna get hurt.
But I got Giants. All right. So remember, those are the 2 switches we have. I have Giants. Cowboys at Eagles. Divisional rivalry game, back to back for the Eagles. I have the Eagles also. I don't think Cowboys are getting this win again. Once they.
What about you, David? What do you have? Cowboys or Eagles?
I'm gonna go with the Cowboys.
You think so?
Maybe
huh?
switches it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna go underrated. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the underdogs here.
They're big time underdogs with Dak being at the QB.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, but David, that's your pick. We'll just keep note of that. That's the last afternoon game on Sunday night, 5:20. Bills at Bengals. Great game.
I got Bengals.
I have Bengals as well.
What about you, Dave?
I want the Bills.
The Bills.
They just haven't been consistent, though.
I want the Bills.
All right, hey, John, just let him.
All right, I'm just saying they're not consistent.
He wants the Bills. All right, that's gonna be a really great game. Excited to see. I think the Bengals are going to win because the Bills' defense isn't the best. I think the Bills' defense is going to choke them out. And the offense hasn't been playing great either. So I think that's going to work out. Last game of this week. David, your Los Angeles
Don't even
Chargers
bother. Don't even bother. Just go to the
going
quiz.
to the New York Jets.
Don't even bother. Just go to the quiz.
David, come on.
They could beat the Jets.
Who do you think is going to win?
The Jets.
Is it in New York?
Yep.
Yes, it's in New York.
Yeah, they have a
Jets
chance
as
of
well.
losing then.
I have the Jets.
They're gonna score. They're gonna score a touchdown in the second half against the Bears.
Well, the Jets have to make it a low-scoring game to win that game. So
yeah, the Jets defense has to be on top, on par. So, John, who are you picking?
I give it a tie, 10-10.
A tie. That's crazy.
They're like even teams. I mean, Zach Wilson.
Brandon Staley's not gonna let that happen.
Hey,
the issue is the chart. It shouldn't be an even game. The Chargers should be better.
Yeah, they should.
They should be. David, sorry we didn't ask you. What was your picks on the any picks you want to say for the original games that are opposite or the same as us? I could re-say the games real quick for you.
No, I think we're good. No, I don't think you guys. It's just
no. We could say them quick. Real quick. Titans or Steelers?
Steelers.
Okay. Dolphins or Chiefs?
Dolphins.
Oh, all right. So that's another switch. Vikings or Falcons?
Vikings.
Vikings. That's another switch.
Yeah.
That's another. Wait, John, what did you say for that one?
I said Vikings as well.
Okay, so you guys said that.
Yeah, I don't trust the
Cardinals.
Falcons.
Yeah, Cardinals at Browns.
I got Cardinals.
Yeah,
Browns.
That's the one you switched. David's normal. Oh no, you didn't even switch. That's another switch you had, John. Because the first switch you said was the Pats. David, Rams at Packers.
Rams.
Okay. Commanders at Patriots.
Patriots.
Washington. Yeah.
Okay. Bears at Saints.
Ooh.
Bears. No, I'm kidding. It's the fucking Saints.
No, I think Chicago might pull it off. Why?
Yeah, right.
Wow, he's going Bears. Damn. All right. And then Seahawks at Ravens.
Seattle.
Buccaneers at Texans.
Houston.
Damn. Okay. And Colts at Panthers.
Oh man. Colts. I'm guessing that one.
All right. I think we covered all the other ones.
Yep. He already talked about the evening ones.
Yeah. All right. Anything else you guys want to say?
No, I think we covered it all. I mean, got our Week 9 NFL coming up, so I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I'm excited for that too.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun week.
Yeah.
Alrighty, guys. Well, that's the end of it. Thank
Also,
you
no
guys.
quiz? No quiz?
Oh, you want to do a quiz now?
I forgot. My bad, David.
That's why I didn't want to do the. I didn't want to do the. You guys asked me the teams to pick. Go a little over. Yes. Ready?
Yeah, let's do it quick here. Quick quiz.
Let's do it quick.
All right. So number 1. So NBA just started. I'm gonna start with the NBA. We all know that the Lakers and the Celtics have the most NBA championships, right?
Yeah.
17. Okay.
Yes.
Which team has the third most?
Okay.
Is it A, Chicago, B, Golden State, or C, San Antonio?
It's B, Golden State.
No, it's Chicago.
They only have 6.
Yeah, Golden State only has. Well, he already said Golden State, so I'm not gonna say it.
So Gio, you're Chicago, and John.
John is Golden State.
Okay, John's right.
What?
They have
You didn't
7.
remember from? Yeah, dude, they just won one.
Yeah, that's 4, and they only had 1 before. Where the hell is the other 2?
They have 7.
Yeah, because Steph won 4, and then they
Yes.
had 3 from the earlier days, the 70s, 80s.
They had 3. I thought they only had 1.
They have
No
7
way.
championships. Chicago has 6, and the Spurs
And the
obviously
Spurs
have
had
5.
5. Yeah.
I know the Spurs didn't have more than the Chicago Bulls. It was either
Yeah,
Warriors or Bulls, and I was like, you know what? I think Golden State has won a lot recently. I'm pretty sure they have more than Chicago.
There's no way. There's no way. I really thought they only had 1 before these 4.
No, they won it back in the day when they had Wilt Chamberlain. They had a bunch of other guys.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
All right. So number 2. This is gonna be a little bit tougher for you guys. Francis Dale Chick Hearn was the announcer for the Lakers for 41 years. You guys heard about that guy?
Yeah, Chick Hearn
You
Court.
know, there's just a street named after him.
Yeah.
Okay. As I mentioned, he was in broadcast for the Lakers for 41 years. He was also famous for having a streak of doing consecutive games.
Damn.
Okay. Here are the options. Is it A, 3,338 games, B, 3,241 games, or C, 2,525 games?
I'm going to go C.
I'm not going to lie. I lost count of the numbers. I'm going to go B.
So first one is 3,338. Second, 3,241. And the last one, C, 2,525.
I'm going B.
C.
See, you're both wrong. 3,338 consecutive games.
Damn, that's a lot.
And it could have been longer, but I think he had to get surgery.
Did he have like cancer or something?
I forgot what it was. He had to get surgery. That's why he stuck. That's why his streak ended. And then, but sadly, I think about a year later, he passed away. So, all right, number 3. Let's go into the baseball. We have the Rangers and the Diamondbacks this season in the World Series. But how many World Series have there ever been? Question is, what year was the first modern World Series played? A, 1901, B, 1903, or C, 1898? Before the modern, it was just, I think, whoever had the most wins. The modern World Series, like how we have it now, playoffs, and you have games.
I want to say 1898.
I'm going to say 1901. So I went B.
1898.
A is 1901, B is 1903, and C 1898.
I went A.
1901?
Yeah.
Okay. John?
1898.
You're both wrong. It's 1903.
I thought that, but I thought that's too. Like the latest one. Like, nah, it's not going to be the latest. It had to be one.
So it's apparently 110 years or 120 years now.
120 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was against the Boston Americans and the Pittsburgh Pirates. That was the first modern World Series.
Boston Americans. Damn.
What a great name.
Before they were the Red Sox.
Yeah.
What a easy name to pick.
Yep. So number 4 should be easier for you guys. We just had the. Oh, Gio, watch out! Almost hit
Yeah.
the
He's a
camera.
mosquito.
You gotta get the skeeters.
Yeah. So we saw James Harden join the Clippers. The Clippers will be James Harden's what team? A, 4th team, B, 6th team, or C, 5th team? 4, 5, or 6? 4, 6, or 5?
5.
5?
Fifth.
Yeah.
5? Okay, you're both right. All right,
Yeah.
there. That's
You
easier for
almost
you
had it with the
guys.
4. Forgetting about OKC.
Mhm.
Yeah, I counted on my fingers, so I was like, you know what? It's Thunder, Rockets, Nets, Sixers, now Clippers.
Right.
And not Clippers.
All right, last question, number 5.
Okay.
You guys are familiar with the sportscaster Jim Hill from Channel 2 and Channel 9?
Yeah. CBS.
Okay. He's currently right now, obviously, the sports director of both those stations. But did you guys know that he played the NFL?
I think I remember him saying something about that.
Not exactly.
Okay. Well, he was drafted in 1968. Which team drafted him?
Options?
A, the Chargers, B, the Packers, or C, the Browns?
C, the Browns.
Why does that sound right that it's the Browns? I'm going to just go Packers.
Because his last name is Brown.
Yeah, that's your answer?
I say Packers.
Packers?
Just because
John?
the Chargers don't seem
Browns.
to be the
Browns?
team then.
I'm disappointing you guys. It's the Chargers.
I thought it was, but like, you know what? The Browns sound like an older team. I don't even think the Chargers were around back
Yeah, the
then.
Chargers doesn't even sound like an old
They
team
were.
to be.
I didn't think the Chargers
was-
played then.
The he played for the Chargers in 1968 through 1971. Then in 1972 he joined the Packers. Left at 74, and at 75 he played 1 season with the Browns.
I thought the
these
Chargers were
all-
created in the 70s, so I didn't think the
No,
Chargers
they were in the
actually.
60s. They were in
Really?
the 60s.
I didn't know that. That's why I said Browns. Just because I
Yeah,
thought the Chargers.
I literally thought because Chargers weren't around at the time.
No,
Well,
they were.
I guess I won
besides-
this quiz.
Every quiz I always put a question tied to the Chargers. I'm sure you guys didn't get the hint this time, but oh well.
Well, now we know. Now,
John, you won?
Yeah,
2-1.
John won. 2-1. Congrats.
I didn't
John.
get many questions right though.
Yeah, that's a very low alert, very bad win. But
Yeah.
congrats.
Well,
All right, guys. Well, that's our episode. This is Sideline Thoughts. I'm Joe Gavez. This is David Reyes, John Greenstein. Thank you guys for listening.